Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to R Squared Technology. I am your host Ryan, and let's get ready to SolidWorks. Happy Monday, everyone. You know, it's the beginning of the week, and I still don't like Mondays. That aside, we are continuing on with our motorcycle truck bed challenge series that's been going on for quite a while. The link in the description below to the previous video, and all those videos have previous links to, previous videos. So with that, we are continuing with the wheel, aka rim, aka the metal part of a wheel assembly, right? Wheel, tire. Changed my mind. That whole meme. Anyways, so this is going to continue. I'm going to make the centerpiece of the wheel, and then in the next video we're going to work on some surfacing and lofting feature to complete the design of this wheel. It's starting to feel just a little bit like Chip Foose, except that guy is legendary in wheel design. So, with that, let's get started. Alright, so in the previous video we left off with the external part of the rim, which kind of has the beadlock profile and 0 degree of true accuracy, most likely, which is okay, because again, I'm not claiming that this is engineered and designed properly. So don't go try to build this wheel. Your tire might just fly off, and I'm not responsible. So with that in mind, we're going to build the centerpiece, and again, in the next video we'll add the spokes, is what I'm calling them, arms, whatever you want to call them. I don't really care. Starfish arms? Yeah, sure, whatever. Call them what you will. But we'll add those in the next video, because we're going to play around with surfacing and lofts and some good old crazy guided curves, all that jazz. So that one you're going to want to put a seatbelt on. That may end up being a 2-part, because we may only get through some of the base sketch work for that, and then get into surfacing and thickening, etc. Anyways, to the core. So, I'm going to choose the front plane because I made this wheel with the front plane in the center of it intentionally. We could have some varying degree of offset with it, but it's just how I went with it. So I'm going to choose the front plane. Or is that what Bob Ross would do? I don't think SOLIDWORKS was around when Bob Ross was live, and I don't think he was really much into computer-aided drafting, so he probably won't have an opinion one way or another. Maybe he would. But actually, you know what? Because of this little sketch I drew up here, we're going to actually choose the right plane. So we'll choose right plane, Control 8, to bring it normal to. And we're going to come over to our sketch tab and start doing some line work with our number 2 pencil paintbrush. It's not a paintbrush, it's number 2 pencil. Look, see? Pencil, there on the screen. So, since I've centered the wheel on the origin, which I love to do whenever possible, I'm actually going to choose a midpoint line to create my axis of revolution. I want the midpoint line to be coincident to the origin with a horizontal relation, and we're going to go beyond the wheel to say there. We'll right click, choose select, and then I'm going to right click on the line and on this button here, construction geometry. Looking good. And now there's a couple of things going on, so arguably it may be confusing with the way the wheel is, as far as like we're technically drawing inside of it, but it may not look like it. So there's a couple things you can do. One is you can come up in here into the view, and where did you go? Control the visibility sketches. No. Nope. There it is. You can do it like this. There we go. So we can switch it to hidden lines removed. You can do hidden lines visible. You could do wireframe, whichever makes it easier for you to sketch. Some people want to keep it in shaded with edges. I mean, we're going to use shaded for the most part. But in this case, we'll switch it to, again, the view, hidden lines removed. Just makes it a little bit better. You could arguably also do this, though certain things will get a little, as my drafting teacher used to say, wonky, right? So if we have it in this view, we could do a sectional, and over here in the properties, we could choose a right plane cutaway and select OK. And again, it's still, because we've made it a specific color other than the default gray. Let's see if I can get the view tree to come up here. You are not going to. So again, for now we're just gonna, we won't use a sectional view, we're gonna choose the hidden lines removed. So now from here I can create my general geometry here. And I want this line to be the starting point, so I can make it coincident to that. Let's make sure. Hidden lines removed. Okay, good. Alright. So, choose a line here. And I'm going to allow it to be coincident to this internal diameter here. So if for some reason that shifted, so will this centerpiece. And then it's going to come about here, 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 and something like this. It's okay that it's not fully defined yet, because I'm going to work dimensions for that. So this line here and the axis, now again, we've gone over this in a couple of different videos, including one of my Friday tutorials. When you use a center line, as long as you do a point or a line and you click on the center line itself, you can use the dimension as it is now, which equates to the radius, because we're going to do a revolve, or you can drag past it to double the dimension, and that would equate to the diameter. So for this, I want a diameter of 6 inches, which that would be 3. And this part here, so we got 2.5 overall is what I show this as, and we might adjust that. How am I feeling with that? Let's actually go 2.5, that gives us a quarter. If we make that 3, 3.5, that puts us outside. Let's say we do 3.25, and we're a little bit in. Let's go 3 flat, and then what I'll do actually at this point, so press the control key, I want to select this endpoint of this horizontal line and this endpoint here and this endpoint over here. I want to give them all a horizontal relation, and then I'm going to take these two here and I'm going to make them equal, and let's just say for this gap we're going to make it 1 inch gap from now. And this here is going to be a diameter 4, so we'll drag down and go 4, and now we're fully defined. And we can take these all the way out of here so we can properly see. And then from here, I've made a line across. Now we only have one axis, so I should simply be able to go into my features and choose a revolve boss base, and it should automatically choose this as the axis. And then click OK. And then we're going to go back into shaded for a moment, and we can hit the space bar and go isometric, and now we've got kind of a center basic workout here. Now I can also, we'll go into a sectional view so we can see even more of what's going on. Again, I'm kind of taking an artistic liberty on this, like 90% of it, right? With just a little bit of some of the true realism to a profile, but not 100%. So, alright, we're getting somewhere. So the next thing I'm going to do here is, I think I want this to be its own profile, just because I may keep it or may not. So this will kind of be the foundation here. But what I'm going to do yet again, we're going to put the wheel, we're going to choose the right plane, Control 8 to bring it normal to, come up into our view, turn it back this way. Now we may actually want to have hidden lines on so we can see the hub we created. Because after all, that's what we do, in fact, want to see, to build off of. But further, what we can also do instead is I can go back to this view here, hidden lines removed, and the second revolve, I can simply show the sketch, which is my preferred method. So from here, again, right plane selected in the feature tree, choose sketch, and choose a line, and I'm going to draw something to this effect here, a cone shape, and what did I give it, a diameter 4, so this point, center line, drag past, this center line is from the other sketch, that's fine. So here's what we're going to do. We will leave this visible. We'll just literally create this center line. It's kind of duplicating. You know what? Let's just use it. Let's not duplicate. Let's take a dimension here. We want this to be a 4-inch diameter, so that's 2 radius. And height, said I want this to be 2 inches. This might be dramatic. Let's go 1.75, 3/4. It's a pretty sharp point. Might be a dangerous wheel that you need a license to own, or you might get pulled over for it. So we'll go with that for now. Then we'll go into our features tab, and we're going to choose a revolve boss base. And we can actually use the prior sketch. I can use that axis to get the revolution. And then I'm going to turn my view back to shaded with edges. And now we have our nice conical spike here. And I just right click on that sketch, which is number 2, to hide it. And remember, when you're making parts, there's no reason why you can't rename features and sketches. So you could say that, like, this is I don't recommend titling it too long per se, but then you could have this will help with organization, you know, and especially if you're collaborating with somebody. If you name features and sketches, then they know, okay, if I change this, this is what in fact I'm changing. Because the more complex your part gets, that feature tree is going to start to make a long list, and it's just like, even if you're just doing it for yourself, trying to remember what sketch relates to what and can affect what, it might be a good idea. So, you know, something like, and I use M for master. I sometimes type out master, but sometimes I just use M. But again, your naming designation and convention is all on you. Something like that. Control S, save often. So now that's a very fine point there. So we'll leave it for now. And then what I'm going to do next we're going to choose this surface of the wheel here, Control 8, bring it normal to, and I like to put an auxiliary plane, as they call it, or reference geometry. Sometimes you can sketch on the face of something, but if for some reason I wanted to maintain certain things and I want to remove other parts, I can reassociate a plane to a different face. So there's a little bit greater control, whereas you'd have to add it in after the fact. But we'll do a 0 offset on this. Actually, no, we're going to do a, sorry, because of what we're doing, we actually technically need to do 2-inch. Let's see how this plays out. So we'll do sketch, plane 1. We're going to draw a circle, draw out here. Now, this didn't go coincident, so I'm going to select it, right click, and I want to choose this base, and I want them to be equal. So if this cone changes, so will this sketch's effect. Now what I'm going to do is come in here and insert a curve and a helix. It's going to use that circle as its dimension. So we'll do constant pitch. Let's actually do height and revolution. So the height is 2 inches, because that's how tall the cone is. And we'll go 3 revolutions to start. Starting angle 90. And we need to reverse that. So we'll right click, edit the feature, reverse direction. Looks good. Actually, let us edit this, taper this at a 30 degrees. Oop, not 30, 60. 30. Let's give this a go. And then what I'm going to further do is I'm going to come into my Features tab, choose Wrap. I'm going to wrap. And I'm going to choose this surface here. Fighting me today. That would be a face. Features. Select this face. Wrap, and you're not allowing me to. So let's remove this for now. I'm a little backwards in my setup. So For now, we'll go with this. And as a final part, actually we'll come back and tune this up a little bit later. We can, however, see the slim opening to grab these. And this should have arguably been done in the revolve, but since I'm doing it after the fact, it's okay. It's going to be 0.25. Adds a little flare to that internal part. And our final part we'll do here. We need to fix that. So edit sketch, Control 8. Again, let's put it back in this view here so it's not as confusing. I just realized something. I'm going to remove this relation because you need to be able to put lug nuts on this wheel. So this one here is going to be a diameter of sorry. We can leave these equal relation, that's fine. I forgot we're going to move our horizontal relation. There we go. Now we can do this. We're going to make this 8 point. There we go. That should be a fair enough clearance. Next to the sketch, and we'll go back to shade it with edges. Choose this back surface, Control 8. Back surface, choose a sketch. And we'll make a reference circle here. 8. So that's 7.5. Let's go 7.25 on that. Yeah, something like that. And our lug nut opening, 1/4 half 28. How about that? So 0.5 6/1000 clearance. 5 10/1000 8/1000. How about that? 508 for now. We're going to go into the features, do extrude cut, and we're going to do up to surface, my favorite. This surface here. And then what we'll do is go to the right plane, Control 8. And actually what I can do is yet again bring either one of these, but I'll make this one visible again. And then I'm going to come up here and make sure we're under the features tab. I'm going to choose a circular pattern. 24. I believe it is a 5 or 6 lug. So we'll go 5. Choose this as the axis of rotation. Features. We want to choose the extruded cut. And we will hide this again. Control S. That's going to give us our lug nut pattern for the bolt pass here to come through. Yeah, so we're starting to make a wheel here. And we'll do Control 8. Check the normal space bar. We'll bring it isometric, Control S, and that is where we'll end this video. We'll again pick this video up. We'll pick up finishing this wheel, or probably just continuing on. We'll tune up this centerpiece a little bit and start into the sketch work for some of the loft and surfacing that we're doing. So stay tuned for that next Wednesday. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something. Take care.